Good afternoon, Abbotsford residents. I'm Mr. Pelican. I'm running for your commander-in-chief after what Henry's son, Darren Brown, opened the door of the backroom deals and the scamming going on. I want to talk to you about something. This is the ministry building. I want to put my foot in Bruce Bandman and Brad Vis's mouth. First, in my foot in Bruce's mouth and my foot up Brad's ass. About the attack on the federal Liberals getting that infrastructure. You got to lobby the provincial and government. And I want to tell you, you could see none of them are hurting David Eby because Henry brought him on board through Pam. I did a video last year that Pam wanted to move this and she had to shut it down. It's $500 million to move it by UFB. We have a massive flood where the farmers got no more animals, so I don't know what you're doing that like that. That's kind of like the Abbotsford police telling you I got no more clients for fentanyl, so we got to get rid of the fentanyl team. We're going to move this $500 million, but what Bruce and Brad Vis failed to do was tack David Eby on a fair, level ground because it was, in my opinion, Henry said to Brad Vis, you don't go after Eby, we got him on side. What should be halted right now is that $500 million because all you got dead chickens. And the $500 million should be designated through a private lender to go and mediate to the farmers and not the city of Abbotsford. But the question Abbotsford residents have, I showed you the 120,000 loads of sand for free by Kenny Breach under the Mission Bridge that could have came in here to support the dikes and everything else, and yet Jake's contracting. Abbotsford residents want to know if there's a mediation plan within the city that directly, if you go and say, I need these loads, what they were hauling at Barrowtown, does the province kick in money without question? And I want to make sure that David Eby can look at it and say, you're scamming us to pay that bill? Who's going to pay that bill unnecessary for Barrowtown and them gravels? So Bruce Bandman was a former mayor. Bruce Bandman would know, being the MLA for the BC Conservatives, to say to David Eby, halt the $500 million. He's looking the other way. Today, Bruce Bandman's at the Chamber of Commerce promoting the great Ross Siemens, knowing as a former mayor, the slurry in our dishes haven't been maintained. Archway Community Services, Rob San Diego, the director is Patricia Dreesen, and she's a city council. The garbage with Alex Mitchell on the council, the boards and everything. This is a chicken's nest. And the rooster have fled, but all the chickens are there clocking. It was a money scam. When Darren Brown took me by my nose and showed me what his dad was doing through the back door to rip off Abbotsford with Ron Funk and the verse and everything. But the power Henry had through the Abbotsford police to beat down on people, halt them out of the election or stop this off. So the question to Brad Vis is, I wouldn't fly to Ottawa, you look like shit. You know as an MP that the equal fairness, and if not, David Eby has more say in BC. And you, Bruce, why doesn't Carney get out of the way and cut a check to the mayor, Ross Siemens? Instead of Bruce being with my farmers today, instead of Bruce going looking at the dike of all the gravel and knowing that Kenny Breach could have given, instead of Bruce standing by all the ditches and saying none of the culverts been cleaned or nothing, Bruce is looking the other way right now. There's a free one over here. Are you running for mayor, Bruce? Are you stepping down under the failing BC Conservatives? But the question to all voters now, David Eby to get a mandate with the Conservatives blasted all up. One DC needs to say, Abbotsford residents, they're upset. Voters are upset. I'm halting the $500 million. Wait, David Eby, wait. Henry's got it already mediated where that's going to go. He's got the contractors. You can't do this. This is why Henry Brown stood on the world stage with John Van Dongen, Ed Fast, and everybody else to try to load Mike DeYoung through the election to get him in. This is why that punk Brad Vis has been covering. Henry Brown tacked Trudeau, remember, in the first flood? But he didn't say nothing about David Eby, and I'm telling you as mayor right now, pull the money off the table, Eby, now, the $500 million and everything you've been giving to the construction companies, and mediate it to the farmers directly and get it out of my municipal city hall. And no more backroom deals. They need help, and they need real help. And stop it all in Abbotsford. Henry Brown was running Ross through the back doors where Ross was working at his gas station. I knew it was only a matter of time, but his for the nuke sack caught him with his pants down. We need to choke him out. We need to show that the corruption was so bad, Ross wasn't even running the city. And he's now, hey, Bruce, can you get over here and promote me? Let me tell you how you promote it, Bruce. You go into the ledge, And you argue that $500 million gets taken out because there's no live animals. They're all floating down the river, and they'll be in China pretty soon for the soup. I'm live, Abbotsford, British Columbia.